Hi everyone, it's Jim Hamill. Welcome to Pocono Mountains Podcast, Season 2, Episode 17. On this episode, we're talking about nonprofits and one big way everyone can help give a helping hand to those in need in our region during a one-day giving event in September. The Pocono Mountains Community Fundraiser set for September 14th, a food fest fundraiser at Mount Airy Casino Resort. The fundraiser got its start in 2004 and has become ever more important to the charities that help so many in the Pocono Mountains each and every day. More on that in a bit. The Poconos is a year-round destination for millions of people, and with 2,400 square miles of lakes, mountains, forests, and rivers with historic downtowns and iconic family resorts, it's the perfect getaway. You can always find out more on PoconoMountains.com or watch PTN, the Pocono Television Network, streaming live 24/7. Thanks for listening to Pocono Mountains Podcast. We'll have a new episode each week highlighting lots of the fun things you can experience while you're visiting the Poconos. Subscribe and leave a review and comment on whatever platform you listen. Now back to the episode. Brianna Strunk sat down for the upcoming Pocono Mountains magazine for August with the people behind the Pocono Mountains Community Fundraiser set for September. Here's their discussion. Enjoy.
Hello everyone, welcome back to this edition of Pocono Mountains Magazine. I'm Brianna Strunk. For this next segment, we are at Mount Airy Casino Resort in the beautiful and newly expanded event and conference space, talking about a really exciting event that is coming up right here next month, the Pocono Mountains Community Fundraiser. Now in its 19th year, this is Monroe County's single largest event fundraiser, which is a huge deal for our community here. Here to talk all about it is Philip St. James with Santa Fe. We have Lauren Peterson, Executive Director of Women's Resources of Monroe County, and Lyman Winter with the Frogtown Chop House, one of our favorite restaurants here in the Poconos. And we'll explain why you're here coming up in just a minute. But first, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Absolutely.
And thank you to Mount Airy as well for hosting this segment here today. Let's start with Philip. Tell us all about the Pocono Mountains Community Fundraiser.
So the Pocono Mountains Community Fundraiser is one of the largest fundraisers that's taken place here. And it's been something that's been going on, as you mentioned, for the last 18 years. We're in our 19th year. And it is a fundraiser that people really like because all the proceeds that are raised, 100% of those proceeds go back into the community to support organizations like the Women's Resource Center. There's been lots of organizations helped over the years.
So what has been the impact over all of these years? How much has been raised? How many organizations helped?
So the impact over the last 18 years has been, we've raised $2.8 million. And we've helped approximately 40 organizations. But those 40 organizations, that might not sound like a lot, but those 40 organizations over those 18 years help thousands of people. So if you just take 1,000 people per organization, that's 40,000 people. So, you know, it's very impactful, and it's been a tremendous response from the community. Everybody looks forward to it, and we're really looking forward to it this year because we get to be together again.
And looking forward to it because we get to eat, because this theme this year is Food Fest, so different theme every year. Tell us about Food Fest.
So Food Fest actually originated from an idea I had because Mr. Chris Barrett, do you know him?
I think I know him. I've heard his name.
He actually called me, and it was towards the end of my budget, and he wanted some support, the restaurants that were in Monroe County. And I was feeling so bad that I couldn't support them because I didn't have any money left. So the next year, I decided that I wanted to do something to support the restaurants who were rebounding from the pandemic, and also helping the community to be made aware of these great restaurants that are out there. Lyman was just somebody that came into our life as divine intervention, who has really been so supportive and just been so special with this event because he's in that space and he knows all the restaurants, and a lot of the people are coming. A lot of the restaurants we have right now, about 16 of them that are going to be here, it's because of him. And so I'm very glad that he's in this space with us and working with us to make this successful. So it's going to be outside. It's going to be here at Mount Airy in the pavilion. So we're looking forward to it. We're really excited about it.
Well, certainly looking forward to it. In Lyman Winter with the Frogtown Chop House. Yeah, you're playing a big role in it this year, and you and more than a dozen other restaurants being able to set up a table and have the community sample your foods. How exciting is that?
It's very exciting, and my part is pretty easy. I don't know, Philip's really hyping it up, but all I did was make a couple phone calls. You know, so like the restaurant community is pretty tight-knit. All the owners get together, we dine at each other's establishments, the chefs help each other out. So I basically just sounded the alarm and said, hey, I'd like you to come out and support the community. It's hard to say no to that, right? So bring some food. They're gonna bring some of their best samples. We're gonna have a great time. And you got some powerhouses in there. The Frogtown Chop House, not to toot my own horn, but the Frogtown Chop House will be there. We have Memento, Dasaki, Sarah Street, a lot of big names. Barley Creek's gonna be there, and a lot of our friends along the way are coming. And we'd love to have more teams join up too. So I'll be hitting the road here, coming up through this month, getting prepared for next month.
Maybe some people who have never been to some of these restaurants in the Poconos can come and sample the foods. That must be really special for everyone.
That's probably the biggest benefit for the restaurants for joining up for this. Number one benefit is supporting the community and you know, helping people in need, right? And that's where Philip steps in, and he brought me on to help gather a superstar team of restaurants to really show up for that day and put out your wares and put out your best, you know, sort of best face forward and let people know who you are. Because there are some places on this list that not everyone knows about. So sometimes all it takes is one bite to go, wow, this is amazing. Oh, where are you? Oh, you're right in Mount Pocono? I'll see you next week.
Can't wait to do a little taste testing. And of course, we can't forget about all the organizations that this is benefiting. Women's Resources of Monroe County has received funding 5 times in past years, and we just learned that Women's Resources is now a 6th time recipient receiving funding this year. So huge round of applause. Very exciting. Congratulations. What is this funding going to do for your organization and the clients that it serves?
Thank you so much, Brianna, and thank you, Philip and Sanafis, and this fantastic fundraiser that happens here in the Pocono Mountains. Women's Resources is the only domestic and sexual violence services center for all of Monroe County. We've been serving the victims and survivors in this area for over 42 years. This year, this funding is going to go towards one of the most critical resources that we provide for the community, which is our 24-hour crisis hotline. It is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and there's always a trained live crisis counselor who is there to speak to you if you need information, resources, if you want to be connected with our services, including counseling, legal advocacy, or our second most important resource, which is our shelter. And it is the only domestic violence shelter in Monroe County and one of only 2 in the entire northeastern region of Pennsylvania. We received over 2,000 hotline calls in just 1 year last year, and that is more than we've ever seen in any previous years before. So having this funding to provide this resource to help us to cover the costs of operating this, our answering service, training new crisis counselors, it's going to be absolutely critical because the need is going to continue to grow as we've seen. The hotline is the first line of defense that people have to contact and access our services, as well as other resources in the community. If we are not the right place for that person who is looking for help, we will provide them with where they can call or where they can go to receive what they need.
That hotline is such a unique and an amazing service for the community, and being a recipient 5 other years past, how has the funding helped operations?
It's absolutely critical. I mean, Women's Resources, we are a 501c3 nonprofit. We rely, especially these last couple of years when things have been tight, on the previous fundraising that we've done in other years. The Pocono Mountain Community Fundraiser has helped us support not just our hotline, but our shelter, as I've mentioned before, but also our prevention education programs in the schools and in the communities, where we're going into the schools and teaching children and students second grade and up about healthy relationships, respect, consent, boundaries, and how to do healthy expressions of feelings, and all of these things that help to create healthy adults later in life.
And another organization that has received funding in the past from the Pocono Mountains Community Fundraiser is Pocono Mountains United Way, coming up on celebrating their big 80th anniversary, kicking off with a celebration coming up later next month on Saturday, September 24th. We wanted to show you a quick video. Take a look.
We've been serving Monroe County for 80 years now, and in that time, the needs have changed and evolved, but one thing remains the same, and that is the organization is here. We stand at the ready to serve the people of Monroe County.
Currently, I'm working with the 80th Anniversary Committee and just really excited to help bolster the United Way, let people know what they're working on, how they've been such a pillar of the community for the last 80 years, and how they've grown over the last 80 years, starting with just so few programs to what we have now, what they've been able to do in the last 2 years through COVID, the programs that they've been able to partner with different organizations and to be able to bring to our community, like rental assistance and the hospitality grant.
Well, I just want to congratulate United Way on its 80th anniversary. I'm flattered to be asked to impart what knowledge I have of it. I've been totally rewarded and blessed in 46 years of association. The history goes back to 1942 when they had a group of people headed by Clifford Gillum. They had about 6 or 8 agencies at that time, and they decided that they needed to support the human services in the county. That then became what known as the Red Feather. The Red Feather campaign was in the 50s. A lot of people would put on their lapel the Red Feather and so forth. There came a time when it became, Monroe County United Way, and now it's Pocono Mountains United Way. So the name has changed, but the cause and what it's done is the same.
When the pandemic hit, we were trying to raise money to help the community to get through it, and the nonprofits in the community to survive. It just came out of nowhere. And so being able to serve on a committee, especially with an organization like United Way, who has their pulse on the community, who knows where the need is, and able to apply the resources in an appropriate way to that need, is very rewarding.
I think they're important to the community because they really look at the needs of the entire community. So you're looking at things proactively instead of reactively. You're talking about not just what the current needs are, but what are we projecting needs to be.
Through programs such as rental assistance, volunteer income tax assistance preparation programs, and information and referral services, we were able to touch the lives of 1 in 12 people in Monroe County last year.
Approaching the issues that are in the community can't be done alone. You have to work together, and we're better together.
T.S. Eliot once said, "What do I live for if not to make life less difficult for one another?" Our purpose here is to help others.
United Way fights for the education, financial stability, and health of every person in every community, and we're proud to do that for 80 years now.
There you have it, a great video about the Pocono Mountains United Way celebrating their 80th anniversary, a celebration event happening next month on Saturday, September 24th. But back here at the beautiful Mount Airy Casino Resort, talking all about the upcoming 19th annual Pocono Mountains Community Fundraiser. Philip with Santa Fe, tell us how the organizations are selected each year.
So that's special too, because I want to make sure that people understand that the organizations that are selected are not by the sponsors. The organizations that are selected are it's a committee made up of the community. So people from within the community come together every year. We have a discussion, we go over applications that have been submitted, and the community actually selects the organizations that have been selected. So if she's been a winner of 6 times, the community sees the need and sees that that's a special place.
And the community has seen the need
Yes.
for Women's Resources of Monroe County. Again, a 6-time recipient. Very, very exciting that you can continue doing that. important work in the community. And we can't forget that the theme this year is Food Fest, so over a dozen plus restaurants will be in attendance, and you can go around to different tables and sample different foods from our amazing restaurants here in the Poconos. Lyman with the Frogtown Chop House. Tell us what to expect from you and your table.
From my table, I was very excited. I was laying in bed one night and said, I know what I'm gonna do. So I called up Jimmy at Corona Butcher, and we're gonna do a real classic surf and turf. I'm doing a colossal lump crab, blue crab. So one big colossal lump of crab, a little cocktail sauce on it, and he's gonna do a really awesome beef carpaccio. And we're gonna do like a little capers, red onion, sea salt mix that goes on top of that. So a little surf and turf for you.
Can't wait. There's a little taste of what to expect at the Pocono Mountains Community Fundraiser. Philip, if another restaurant wants to sign up, there's still time, or a local organization wants to learn how they might be able to get involved in the future, how can they do so?
Sure. You can go to the website that's on the screen right now or contact TJ Price, and her number is also on the screen.
Philip St. James with Santa Fe, Lauren Peterson with Women's Resources of Monroe County, and Lyman Winter with the Frogtown Chop House. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And we are action-packed with events here in the Pocono Mountains next month. Coming up on Saturday, September 24th, is our annual Pick Up the Poconos Day, our fall cleanup being held across the Pocono Mountains. We are looking for volunteers to sign up and clean roads, rivers, parks, and trails throughout Wayne, Pike, Monroe, and Carbon counties. Sign-ups are now open. Head to pickupthepoconos.com to sign up, and there you can learn all about our overall anti-littering campaign, which to date has resulted in more than 20,000 bags of trash being picked up around our region. So once again, head to pickupthepoconos.com to sign up and learn more. More with Pocono Mountains Magazine when we return.
Brianna and the organizers and participants in the Pocono Mountains Community Fundraiser said it the best. The sponsors are key to making the event a success, but the nonprofit organizations themselves are the key to making the Poconos what it is today. Be sure to find out more by heading to pmcfevent.com.
The best stories come from people you know.
Hi, Jim and Brianna.
Hello there.
And at the Pocono Television Network, we know the Pocono Mountains.
Saw you at the festival. Great job.
Thanks.
PTN spends each and every day updating you on what's happening across the entire region.
Hey, I shared your post.
Thanks very much.
So watch us on cable, streaming, and online.
We love watching you guys on PTN.
Us too.
Go to PoconoTelevision.com. PTN is everywhere you are.
We're back. Thanks for listening to Pocono Mountains Podcast. I'm Jim Hamill. There's another way you can give back to our region this September. Pick Up the Poconos Day is set for September 24th across all the 4 counties of the Poconos. Sign-ups are underway right now at pickupthepoconos.com. Here's a look back at our Pickup Day in 2020 that saw an entire college football team tackle the litter problem. This year, you can too. Normally, these East Stroudsburg University football players would be tackling opponents on the gridiron on a Saturday in September. But on the 3rd annual Pick Up the Poconos Day, the entire team, along with about 100 additional volunteers, evened the score with litter throughout all 4 counties in the Poconos.
We picked up trash, we picked up bottles, we picked up beer cans, we picked up coffee cups, we picked up everything, sandals.
ESU senior Eli Laverin fanned out across East Stroudsburg. His teammates, 100 plus, also hit Stroudsburg and Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Area. Coach Jimmy Terwilliger seized on the opportunity to get his team a win during a season without football games.
We have an unbelievable area. We want to keep it that way. We have a beautiful place to play football, go to school, work, raise a family. We want to keep it that way, and we're really excited to get these guys back here today.
Roughly 20 different groups spent the last Saturday in September picking up litter on roads and in public parks. Crews collected bag after bag in Milford, Lake Wallenpaupack, Honesdale, Jim Thorpe, and townships including Coolbaugh, Tobyhanna, Barrett, Chestnut Hill, Pocono, and Middle Smithfield, as well as Delaware Water Gap Borough, to name several.
We feel that it's one of the things that we have to do to give back to our community, and we're just trying to beautify our community more so that the millions of people who do visit us and the tens of thousands of people that live here will find it beautiful. And of course, it helps the environment too.
Keep Pennsylvania Beautiful supplies the bags, gloves, and vests, and the Pocono Mountains Visitors Bureau puts out the call for volunteers. And PennDOT, as well as the municipalities, take the bags to the landfill via donated dumpsters from Waste Management. The Waste Authority also provided safety support for crews, and the event was a success for its third straight year, especially for these student athletes who were able to be together, not on the field, but on the streets, and for a good cause.
It's amazing. It was fun seeing all the guys. It's been a while since we got everybody together as a team, so that's awesome that we could be together and give back to the community.
I feel like we're helping the community out, so that's what we want to do.
I'm really thankful for the opportunity to give back to this community. I think it's something that's a worthy cause. Let's do everything we can to keep this community clean. Let's do everything we can to keep it beautiful. Let's do everything we can to keep it safe so that we can get back to some normalcy, so classes can start back up, our team can resume practices, and these local businesses can get back up to the thing that we do best, and that's have a great area in the Poconos.
In all, hundreds of bags of litter were picked up on this one day, covering dozens of miles of road throughout the Poconos' 4 counties, Wayne, Pike, Monroe, and Carbon. And the effort to keep our region clean and green continues with you.
What I always tell folks is that if you discard a cigarette, for instance, it takes 1.5 years to biodegrade. A lot of times you see plastic bags and trees that are floating. That takes 450 years to biodegrade. A glass bottle takes 1 million years. So if we get one bag off of our landscape, that just makes our landscape all the better.
To find out more about how you can get involved, head to pickupthepoconos.com and make a point to tackle litter one piece at a time. Jim Hamill for the Pocono Television Network. Pick Up the Poconos Day and Pocono Mountains Community Fundraiser, 2 of the many ways we can give back to our neighbors. Thanks for listening to Pocono Mountains Podcast. Please remember to subscribe anywhere podcasts are available. Come visit us in the Pocono Mountains. Plan your trip today.